everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Story time on when I survived a school shooting. One of my friends just did a video to their point of view, so it inspired me to want to make a video, tell people about my experience and my point of view of what happened. So boom, it's like your average Monday, if not late 7, 8 o'clock. So by this time, it's time to go to third period. They had just called a bell for second period, and they go in the intercom and they like, we about to do a hall sweep. And if you don't know what that is, it's like you got this amount of time for to get to class before they come and do the hall sweep. And if you get caught in the hallway while they doing the hall sweep, you cook. They send your ass straight to ISS. So you know everybody in class, they don't want to go to ISS. But I'm walking to my third period, and I get in class. You know, I sit down. I got both AirPods in, so you know I can't really hear nothing. So time go past, class going smooth. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden I see like everybody getting up and going into a corner, but I still got my AirPods playing music in, so I'm confused. I'm like, what everybody doing? And so I take an AirPod out and they like, get up, come over here, come over here. So we all just standing in the corner and I'm still confused. You know, I got butterflies in my stomach because ain't nobody saying nothing about no drill. You know, even the teacher herself is confused. So time go by like a couple of seconds. You got some of the students, they laughing and giggling. And the teacher, she like, you know, be quiet. Don't try to care about y'all life. So after she said that, you know, everybody quiet down. We basically just like sitting there now in silence. And out of nowhere, you just hear a big ass boom. I'm scared shitless. Some of the students, they scream. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? There goes our location. Some of the students, you know, they dropped down to the floor. Some girl, she was behind me. She ended up pulling me back like down with her. So like I'm on the ground now laying back because I got pulled down. Mind you, this is going on and the door isn't even locked. Some dude went to the bathroom earlier, and when he came back, you know, he never locked it back. But when the drill came on, the teacher never locked it. And, you know, like, that's their job to go lock the door. So, you know, the door just never ended up getting locked. So we all just laying there on the floor. And then, like, a few moments later, you just see, like, a long barrel come in the door. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So now he's fully in the room, and he yells from the top of his lungs, you're all gonna fucking die. So at this point, I'm like, damn, I'm cooked. So I close my eyes, and my hands is crossed like this while I'm laid back, and shots just start going off. So my eyes closed, you know, my adrenaline high. I can't hear nothing because my ears is ringing from the gunshots. You know, we in a small classroom. A few moments go by, I open up my eyes, and I see him leave the classroom. But I'm still scared as hell, so, you know, I don't move at all. So, like, we all just sitting there. So finally, my friend, he got up and he went to the window. He opened up the window so everybody could jump out the window. Real nigga, because I was planning on sitting there and waiting for the police to come find me. So everybody rushing to the window, you know, everybody trying to get out at one time. So on my way out, I ended up getting stuck like halfway for a little bit because, you know, everybody trying to get out at the same time. And it's like a brick ledge on the end of the window. So I'm like just dangling from it because it's like a 2-story building. But from the window that we were at, it was like a 1-story, because it was like a roof right under us, like a metal roof. So it like basically counted as 1 story, but you know, it was like from a 2-story window. So I'm just dangling. So I finally built up the courage in my nuts to let the window go. So I'm like falling to the second roof. You know, I roll a little bit so I don't break nothing. Thank God I didn't. So from the metal roof, I just dropped down to the ground because it's not that big of a fall. But you know, when you drop from something high down, you know, your ankles start booming. That was kicking my ass. So now everybody running to the gate because it's like a fence right there and police on the other side. So we climbing the gate and whatnot. And by this time, I'm starting to like feel all the pain in my hands because like my adrenaline's starting to calm down. And I had been hit in like 4 different places, including both my hands. So I finally get over it and I start running to like one of the officers that was on the other side. And I was like, I got shot. And he told me, he was like, all right, go stand like on the corner and whatnot. So I pull out my phone, I call my mom. And I told her, I was like, Mama, I just got shot. She told me, she like, why you not in class? I was over the phone. I was like, I just jumped out of a window. She like panicking over the phone, start like rushing out of work and whatnot. And I get a phone to the police officer so he could like talk to my mom. So now I'm just sitting on the corner. I'm looking at my hands. I'm like, damn. And I started to see out my peripheral, like somebody recorded me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I ended up seeing the video a few days later. I'm like, niggas is weird. So I get tired of waiting on the corner and I look down and I see an ambulance. So I start walking up towards the ambulance. So like I'm walking down the street, you know, I'm about to get in the street, like, cause the ambulance in the middle of the street and you just hear like another boom. So like I crouch behind the police car cause it's like police cars all down the block. So I finally get up and I go to the back of the ambulance and I'm just sitting in the ambulance now. It was me and like 3 of my other classmates that was in the classroom at the time. So it's taking the ambulance mad long to pull off. Like, I'm starting to get sleepy, and they like, I can't go to sleep. Like, I can't fall asleep. I'm like, what? So they finally like pull off, you know, we like heading towards the hospital. Luckily the hospital was like not far from like the school. It was probably like 5 minutes from the school. And I'm just sitting in the back. I'm starting to get like a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. Like I'll try my best to stay up. So we get to the hospital and they put me on the stretcher and they like take me to a room. So now we in a room and they start taking my jacket off and whatnot. And that's when I realized like I got hit in my arm. This entire time I did not feel nothing in my arm. Like I didn't even know I got hit right there. So now they starting to like wash all the wounds and like put bandages over it. After they get done with that, most of the nurses start like leaving the room. I think it was like one more nurse that was left over in there to like watch over me. So now I'm just sitting there and I just start breaking down because that entire time everything was going on, I didn't cry until I got to like the hospital and I start like soaking it in. So like now I'm screaming. I'm like, I want to see my mom. I want to see my mom. And the nurse is telling me, she's like, you can't have visitors. It's like a safety precaution. So like nobody can come in and finish the job basically. So she walks over to the phone in the corner and she starts putting my mom's number in. So now I'm talking to my mom and my dad over the phone because she had ended up putting my dad on the phone. So the phone's starting to go around, you know, I'm starting to talk to like everybody that was like there at the hospital, like all my family members that had pulled up to the hospital. So I get done talking to them and I think they let my mom and my dad up and then they let me have one visitor. So like my brothers was swapping places. Two of my brothers, they were swapping places. So now I'm just chilling with my mom and my dad. I think I took like a nap for a little bit. And when I woke up, they was like waking me up to go do like a CT scan or like a CAT scan. And after the CAT scan, that's when I found out I got hit in the side of my face. And the bullet had like went down all the way down to my neck. And it was like 1 centimeter away from like my main artery. So like I was close to being flatlined. So like time passed, they finally like switched me to a room because I was gonna have to like do an overnight stay. So now, you know, I'm in a room. They starting to like let a little bit of visitors up. I think my godmom was up there. My dad was up there. My mom was up there. And I think a few of my siblings were up there. So I finally take a nap. You know, a few hours pass. I wake back up. I got this crazy pain in my jaw. Like all my teeth are just sensitive as hell. Like I can't bite down. It was terrible. It turned out to be the bullet that was on the side of my face. It had came in, and when it was going down, it had like cracked my jaw a little bit. So like the nerves from that was starting to come back. So what I do, I took some type of painkiller and took my ass right back to bed. I actually can't remember if I stayed 1 or 2 days. It might have been 2. It might have been 2. But even so, not too long after, I ended up going home like really soon. But I was still had like this bullet in my neck and I had to get it like surgically removed, I think a year later. Here are the places I got hit at. I got hit right here. I think it's like a bullet fragment. Right here. It's like a bullet fragment. And it came out like right here. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I got hit right here. And it's light. You can kind of see it. I got hit right here in my arm. And I got hit right here on the side of my face. But yeah, after that whole event, I had ended up telling my mom, you know, I wanted to transfer. Because mind you, I had just transferred to that school like 3 weeks ago. I had been going there for like barely a month. And she was telling me, she was like, I still want you to give the school a chance. You know, in my head, I was looking like, a chance? I just did. And look what happened. And I was only a sophomore at that. But I had ended up staying, you know, and graduated from there last year. Clap it up, clap it up. But yeah, that's the story. I'm alive and well. Glory be to God. Thanks for listening, guys.
That's crazy, yo. Bro said, Ma got shot. She said, why you not in class? It was like, I was in class. Damn. Black mamas don't want to know nothing. If you had your ass in class, you wouldn't have got shot.
Story time on how I survived a school shooting my freshman year of high school. Before I get into my story, I want to say I'm so proud of everybody from my school that's finally getting their story out there and being able to talk about it without getting emotional, because it was a very traumatic experience for a lot of people. We also lost 2 people during the incident. It was Alexandria Bell and Jean Kuchka, and I want to say may they rest in peace. I'm so sorry that we had to go through that. Like, still to this day, I'm pissed that we had to go through that. That was not right for us. It ain't right for nobody. Like, school shootings is really just a sad case. But I'm so happy that the people from my school are showing some type of growth from this experience. So this happened October 24th of 2022. I was a freshman in high school. I was loving high school. It was homecoming week. Everybody was turned. Everybody was so nice and loving and like welcoming. It was like no bad energy at school. Like literally, well, not that I know of. I was having the time of my life. That morning I had dance my first period, and nobody feels like doing all that twisting and turning and splitting in the morning. It's 7 in the morning. I'd rather be doing math this early in the morning. Nobody feel like doing it. So I was irritated. I was very hot and tired. So me and my friend, after that class period, we was going to walk to the counselor suite and chill. We did not want to go to our next class because we was just so irritated and tired. So we was going to the counselor suite. We get stopped by 2 security guards. They're like, oh, you guys need to get to class because it's going to be a hall sweep. You don't want to go to ISS. If you get caught in a hall sweep, you're getting sent straight to ISS. There's no talking, no nothing. They're just going to send you to ISS. We like, oh, no. We're not going to go sit no ISS. We're going to class. So her class is upstairs. Mine was like in the same hallway that the security guard stopped us in. So I go to class. She go to class. Soon as I get in class, I sit down and I'm on my computer because I'm already late because I had to change from my dance clothes to my clothes that I had on for school. So I'm already late. So I'm trying to get straight on my work. Like, I kid you not, 5 minutes after I get into class, they on the intercom saying the little name for the intruder drill. Well, not drill, the intruder. I'm like, what's going on? I asked the teacher, like, did they email you about this? He checking this email. He sees nothing. This is not no drill, baby. This is real. So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm still not thinking that it's real because it's like no real proof that it's real. So I'm just like chilling in the class, and my whole class is like chilling. They're not panicking. Nobody's like thinking that it's real. Everybody just waiting till they say, you know, we done. So we start hearing stuff in the hallway, like banging, shots. I don't know what it was, but everybody was just hearing stuff. It was loud. Like, it was definitely loud. So I get a phone call. This is where I start getting real. Like, I'm believing it after this. Like, I get the phone call from somebody I haven't talked to in so long. Like, I don't talk to this girl on a daily basis. We don't keep in contact, nothing. She called me. She flipped her camera. We on FaceTime. She flipped her camera. It's ambulance and people outside. People getting rushed out to school. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. So I go to the window. I'm looking out the window while I'm on the phone with her. It's 15 police, like, in the courtyard of my school. Like, we got a courtyard, and it's 15 police rushing in the courtyard, running, looking around with their guns. I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is real. I tell my class, everybody huddled on my phone, over my phone, and we just all like, oh my God, this is real. Me, I start immediately crying. I call my mama. I hang up on her. I call my mama. Luckily, my mama was already on the highway because she was dropping my cousin off at school, but she came straight to me. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, mama, I'm not like fully panicking yet, but I'm like, mama, this is real. We having a school shooting. I might die at school. I love you. I don't want to die at school, but please come get me. Please come get me. Like, I'm saying all type of stuff. Like, I'm telling her I love her. I'm telling her to tell my siblings I love them. Like, it's a lot. Like, a lot is going through my mind right now. I don't know if my friend's okay because I'm not in a class with none of my closest friends. It's just like me and some people I'm cool with, but I'm worried about my friends, my life. I'm literally like, in my head, I'm settling with the fact that I'm gonna die at school. That's the saddest part. Like, nobody should be thinking or be okay with the fact that they finna die at school. Like, that's, no. So I'm on the phone with her, panicking, crying, like, not screaming, because we gotta be quiet, but I'm panicking and crying. And we heard a fire alarm go off. I'm like, what is going on? Like, the fire alarm going off, is it a fire drill? Like, so my teacher's like, we not leaving. We're not leaving this class. I don't care if it's a fire. He's like, we not leaving. We stand up in here. We not finna trip off the fire drill. Mind you, my teacher is old as hell. Like, he got a limp. He got like he got a metal hip. Some type of, I don't know. But I'm so glad that he was doing whatever he could to protect us because he put the whole Promethean board in front of the door and the whole door was blocked off. So we was good. So I heard a fire alarm. I'm just panicking. I'm on the phone with my mama telling her I love her, telling her to please hurry up and come get me, please. I'm scared, like all type of stuff. She's trying to keep me calm. She's telling me just stay calm. She not crying, but I know my mama wanted to cry, but I know my mama, she stays strong for us. So in a situation like this, she stands strong for me because she don't want to cry because then that's going to make me cry even more and I'm going to be even more scared. So she's staying strong for the both of us. So a couple minutes go by. The police finally get to banging on the door. And at first we didn't want to open the door because we wasn't sure if it was the police or not. It could have been that boy. So we didn't open the door. The police finally bust in the room though, and they get us out the classroom, and we in the hallway, and another class comes out their class, and we all just running, screaming in the hallway, crying. So we running down to the exit. We finally see everybody else, not everybody else, but a couple other people that was in the same like section of the building as us. And everybody's crying, screaming, people having panic attacks, people having ventilated, people having asthma attacks. It's a lot going on. Like, we're outside of the building, but it's still a lot going on. I'm sitting down, like, y'all, I kid you not, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just sitting right there, like, I'm not crying no more. I'm just sitting right there, like, not saying nothing, less stirring. I just couldn't believe that just happened to me. And I was beyond, like, in my head, I'm thanking God because I really could have died. At the same time, I'm thinking about my friends. I'm thinking like, damn, my friends might be dead. Like, it's just a lot going through my mind at the moment. Mama finally like runs up to me because the street was so crowded with police cars. She had to park a couple of blocks away from my school. So she had to run to me all the way down the street to me. She get me and we walking right back to the car. Like, everybody was meeting up at Schnucks. Like, my whole school was meeting up at a Schnucks that was down the street from my school. But me, I really wanted to get going. I wanted to get as far away from that school as possible. On my way walking to the car, because it was a very long walk, my friends ended up calling me and they was asking me if I was okay. I was make sure they okay. They was fine. But it was just a lot. Like, it was kids. Like, when we first got the building, it was kids getting medical attention from the ambulance. One got shot in his butt and was like laying on the ground with his ass out. It was definitely a lot. And I know the teachers, I thank every teacher in the building, like, for protecting us. They really stayed strong for us and they really did they all to protect us, and I thank every teacher. So I finally get home and I'm like out of it. Like, I'm not saying nothing to nobody. I'm not crying no more. I'm just her. And I'm just so shocked, like, all that just happened, like, so fast. Like, everything happened so fast, y'all. It all happened in the span of like 20 minutes. So I get like a lot of calls. Like, I'm getting texts and calls from people I don't talk to, people that never talk to me, family members that don't speak to me, but they just want to call and see like what happened. They're not even trying to check on me. They just want to know what I saw. So I'm not answering no calls. I'm only answering texts from people I went to school with. I'm like so out of it. I'm just staring at the wall, like tears just running down my face. Like, I'm not even like crying, but it's just, they just coming down. So we was out of school for a couple of months after that. I didn't even want to go back to that school, but I had to think, if I was to go to another school and the fire alarm was to go off and I would start crying, they wouldn't understand why I'm crying. But the school that I was just at, they would understand why I'm crying. So I decided to stay at the school. Like, that was the boldest choice I've ever made, y'all, because I never imagined myself stepping foot back into that school after everything I went through. Like, that experience ruined my freshman year. Like, that's literally like the major thing that I remember from freshman year. I don't remember nothing else. Like, y'all remember like all the fun I had before that, but like after that, it just went into like, I don't know. That situation definitely shaped me into who I am today, though. I didn't let it change me for the worse. It made me more attentive, I pay attention more. I'm definitely a little paranoid, but I mean, that's what come with it. When you go through something traumatic, you're definitely going to be paranoid, but after all that, it made me better. I did go through a lot of depression, a lot of stuff, but I didn't let it change me for the worse. I'm just happy that everybody can talk about it now and not be emotional or sad, because it really shaped us into who we are now.
Hey TikTok, good morning. So I've been seeing my friends and stuff talk about their POVs of how our school got shot up. So I'm gonna tell my side. I'm not gonna try to use the whole 10 minutes. The most I'm gonna use is 6 minutes. I'm not doing a part 2. I'm gonna try to fit everything into this 6-minute video because I don't feel like talking about it anymore. So this is my side of what happened. Okay, it was a Monday morning. I already felt like that day was off. Everybody said that they felt off to them, which they wasn't lying, because they definitely felt off. We as in my cousins and my sister, we all came to school late. We was in the hallway on the second floor, just lollygagging, doing our do or whatever. Then I goes downstairs to the dance room because that's where my class was. Now, once my dance class was over, as one class is coming in, the other class is coming out. Alex would be coming in, I would be leaving. Me and her would usually swap paths, say, hey girl, hey, how you doing? All that stuff, I know how friends are. Yeah, but this day I didn't see her at all that day. Like, she was there, but I didn't see her. So And the weekend prior was homecoming. That was the last time I had saw her.
I think Alex is the one that died.
And yeah, so once that class is over, I leaves. I go up to my class, which is on the 3rd floor. I had a math class. I'm in class. It's me and my cousin. We in class, you know, doing our work, all that good stuff. And then on the intercom, we heard Miles Davis is in the building. Miles Davis is in the building. But we had already had like some intruder drills last week. You know, the week before all this happened. We had already had, you know, intruder drills and stuff. So we thought it was a joke. So, my cousins and my sisters and then we all in a group chat, you know, just like, is this real? Like, is this real? Like, we all like, we was just talking shit. I ain't gonna lie. We was talking shit because we thought this was fake. Then, that's when we start hearing gunshots. The group chat started hearing gunshots first because most of them was on the 2nd floor. I didn't start hearing gunshots until like, I want to say like 3 minutes, like a few minutes after. It wasn't that much longer after I heard the gunshots. But they started hearing the gunshots. They was like, oh, this real. Like, they're like, this is real. Okay, so I'm like, so I'm panicking now. I call my mama. By the time I call mama, I'm hearing a clink on the door. And if you know how central doors is before they got renovated, it was a big old wooden door with a big old glass in the inside. So I'm hearing a clink. He break the glass, start letting off shots. He was like, all of y'all are gonna die. Letting off shots. I call my mama. I'm like, Mama, I don't wanna die. Mama, I don't wanna die. She on the phone. She like, don't say that. I'm on my way. Don't say that. She was just coming from work. When I called her, she's like, she leave work. Her kids is in the school shooting. Like, she leaves work. Okay, she on the phone. Pedal to the metal. She's there. She hears it all. I'm on the phone with her the whole time that, you know, that this is going on. He wasn't able to get into my classroom, so he tried to go to next door. I don't think he got into the classroom next door. I don't know, somebody from that class will have to tell their POV, but he didn't make it, like, he didn't get into their classroom, so that's when he tried to barricade himself into the computer lab, and, you know, he tried to barricade himself into the computer lab. That didn't work. The police and stuff did they one, got his ass gone, because I think at one point he was trying to shoot the police officers too, but, you know, self-defense, they killed him. And then that's when some more police officers had came to, you know, escort everybody out. And yeah. And then, you know, while all of this is, you know, trying to dial down, I'm outside looking for my sis because, where's my sis? I'm outside looking for my sis. I didn't see her. A few minutes later, I end up seeing her. Okay, cool. My sis is good. My cousins is good. We thought everybody made it out safe, but we ended up losing my friend Alexandria Bell and one of our PE teachers, Miss Jen Kushka. That's pretty much my take on the school shooting. I don't really want to go too much in depth, but you know, I love my CDPA family. I'm so glad that y'all decided to tell y'all story. And I was brave enough to, you know, tell my side because it was really hard for me. Like, I had to go to therapy for it and stuff like that. But I'm glad that all of that has helped me, you know. I'm able to tell my side now. This is my side. Yeah, I love y'all.
And I'm gonna be honest, like, the niggas that know me and know what type of nigga I am, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sugarcoating shit. I'm not finna fake for no camera. This is how I talk. The niggas that know me and know what type of nigga I am, I don't really take shit serious. So, like, that's gonna play a major part in half the shit I'm finna tell y'all in this story. So, like, don't get offended. I don't give a fuck if you do at the same time. I'm in motherfucking math class. It's probably like 9 o'clock. I'm in math, right? And they hit the announcements like Miles Davis in the building. That's like the intruder code or whatever when a motherfucking intruder in the building. And the teacher like, that's weird. I ain't getting no email of this shit. Everybody get in the corner. I wasn't giving a fuck about none of that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I said, bro, there ain't no motherfucking intruder, nigga. Fuck Miles Davis. Bro, there ain't no goddamn intruder. That's the motherfuckers dropping the wood planks across the street. That sound like the gunshot. We hear that shit every day. That's all that shit is, so I ain't tripping off nothing. She like, Armand, get in the corner. Get in the corner. This shit an emergency. I went and grabbed my M&Ms out my motherfucking bag. I grabbed my motherfucking M&Ms out my book bag like, shit, I'm finna just eat me some motherfucking food and sit my bitch ass in the middle of the class. I was still on the floor. I was still on the floor in a green do-rag. Oh, mama, I was on the floor, but I got the M&Ms like some dice, you hear me? I'm shaking them motherfuckers up like, man, I'm not worried about shit, bro. Y'all think this shit real. We get this shit every week. I ain't tripping off that shit, right? Next minute, you know, she like, Armand, you're just goofing around. You seriously need to get in this corner. Ooh, I'm on the floor spinning around like this, crisscross applesauce. Like, cuz, shut that shit up. I'm not trying to hear that shit. See one of the homegirls, and the other homegirl on some shit, knocking on the motherfucking door. Hard as a motherfucker, like, what's up? What y'all on? She looking lost. I'm like, man, I'm trying to let you in, but the teacher won't let you in the classroom. And it ain't me, though. But I'm just looking like, I'm pointing at the door. Homegirl outside the door, she like, she know I'm pointing at the door, but she don't know what the fuck I'm pointing at. The teacher like, Armand, that's the intruder right there. All they dumb ass balled up in the damn corner, so they can't see the shit. They believe in the teacher. She ain't in the corner with their ass. So she don't even know what the fuck she talking about. So next thing you know, she, Armand, get in the corner. That's gotta be, that's the truth. I said, that's Coco and Kenzie, man. I'm finna let their ass in the door. If you let them in the door, you'll be endangering the entire class right now. You need to get in the corner. Coco gang, she outside the class. She like, I don't know why the fuck they won't let us in, so I'm gonna just walk off. So she walks the fuck off. Like 40 seconds later, my bitch ass had to stop trolling because all I hear is kaboom, skadoosh. Fuck that is. You're all gonna fucking die. I said, what? What the fuck I do? Bird crawling. Fuck you talking about? Let me get my bitch ass in the corner. So now I'm behind the same teacher. I was just calling her ass scary. I'm scared now too. Side note, before I got my bitch ass in the corner, I looked out the window. I seen the fat homie Marvell. I seen this nigga hitting feet. When the shit first started, I'm like, oh, this bitch ass nigga ain't worn no. That's my man's though, so I ain't gonna clown him. But I'm like, why the fuck he hitting feet? Boom. I'm behind the teacher, right? I'm behind the teacher. I'm holding on to her. I got my hands right behind her waist like this. I'm oh shit. This shit real. This shit crazy. Let's pray to God. I'm praying. Motherfucking Hispanic homegirl next to her motherfucker, right? Her ass on the phone. Like this nigga ain't next door. She on the phone. Crying in Spanish. I don't even know how to explain it, G. She, you know, no disrespect. She's crying in Spanish. Mama. Talking, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying harder. I'm like, she finna get us killed. She loud. The teacher like, hey, get off the phone. Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. On my mama. The nigga that's shooting the motherfucker up, this dumbass bitch fell up the steps, by the way, but that's the nigga that was shooting this motherfucker up. He yelling, you're all gonna die, shooting this motherfucking gun. On my mama, all I smell is 10 gallons of ass and shit. So I'm like, hold on, cuz I'm right behind the motherfucking teacher, but holding her waist like this. I said, cuz, either she shit on herself or she released a nervous fart in my motherfucking face, G. So like I'm overwhelmed, and just over everything right now, cause like it's a nigga trying to kill niggas. And I just got farted on. And he could not have been hurt, but I'm 100% sure. As for the cops, they escort us out the, now the cops fucked up. The cops, they escort us out the motherfucking classroom when the shit all over after they get done smoking, cause you go in the hallway, bullet shell cases, smell like gun smoke. The cops got the gun, damn, they're pointing the guns at us like, everybody out the class, hands up, hoods down. Hands up, hoods down, get the fuck out right now. Damn, G, do we got guns? Cool. Motherfuckers fighting to get out the school. We get in the parking lot. I reunite my cousin that go to the school that's like split in half with my school on some shit. Get in the parking lot. My pops called me. Most heartless nigga in the world. Like, he a real nigga because all the shit he did for me. Like, he a real ass daddy, but he ain't never been no pops that show emotion type shit. This nigga called me. What's up, daddy? He like, yeah. They said somebody shooting up your school. Yeah, I'm in the parking lot now. Shit, all right. Damn, all right, cool. So I go home. I explain the story to all my peoples, whoopty scoop. Nigga find out later, homegirl Alex passed away. I'm like, damn. Then nigga find out later, motherfucking gym teacher passed away. I'm like, damn. And it just, baffled the fuck out of me that my main man's in the hospital. And this nigga had to jump out the window.
Hey TikTok, hey. I got another story time for y'all. This is my story on the time my school got shot up, my homegirl passed, my teacher passed, and my homeboy got shot. A lot of people got shot. Well, it was crazy, y'all. And I got something to say real quick, because my homegirl did her story time first, and some of y'all were very rude in those comments. Keep it cute, for real. Because this is a life story. Like, this really happened to us, and y'all are very insensitive. Is it because we black? Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. For me, it was a weird Monday morning. I already don't like Mondays to begin with. I woke up late. I got to school, like, I missed my whole first period, which just so happened to be with the teacher who passed away. Like, it was weird. Like, I went to the store and I got me some snacks, like, because I was already late. And it was just an off day. You know, like, when you just wake up feeling weird? That's what it was for me. So I got to school when second period started. And second period flew by, I'm not gonna lie. It did. Now that I think about it. Second period flew by. Bell rung. And now it's time for third period. And this is when everything happened, right? So, bell rung. I leave my classroom. And I see homegirl. And I hadn't seen homegirl since the week before. Because I believe we was off that Friday. So, I hadn't seen her since Thursday, right? And I was late to school, so I'm just catching up, just to see what I missed or whatever. And we chopped it up for a bit, and like we was talking for a good 5 to 6 minutes, and it was to the point where we was both finna be late to do what we had to do. So we parted ways. It's when you wanna know something crazy, something in the back of my head was telling me like to take a picture, but like I was thinking like, okay, I'll take my picture later, cause like we was already late, like we was running late. So after talking to homegirl, I had about a minute and a half to get to class, and my class was on the next floor upstairs, all the way on the end. So like, I had to make my way, but like I wasn't gonna rush, cause me and that teacher, we didn't really get along. Like she used to pick at me, so I used to pick back. That's what it was. As soon as I approached the class door, the bell rung. She looked at me, locked it, said, go get a pass. That was real petty of her. That was very like, okay. She played in my face, and I already really didn't like her. So I was like, all right, I'm about to go get my pass, go to the bathroom, and then go to class, right? I went to the office, got my hall pass. My hall pass said 9:06. I went all the way back around, like, because I was taking my time. I'm not going to lie, because, like, she just purposely locked me out of class. Like, I'm thinking this is a regular school day. I'm like, I'm finna lollygag, right? I was a sophomore, too, like, Along the way, I ended up running into Kenzie, and she was in the bathroom with me. I ended up writing her name on the hall pass, and as we was in the bathroom, that's really when everything started. Like, there was no intercom in the bathroom on the second floor. We didn't hear the code word on the intercom or nothing. Like, and then when we left the bathroom, the hallways was like very clear and quiet. But I'm not thinking, who's gonna think that, like, in real life? Like, that's very not real. I honestly thought it was so quiet and empty because they started hall sweeps that day. So at this point, I was trying to get to class because I didn't want to be too late, because I already had a record of being late to class. Like, I was really always late. Me and Kenzie left the bathroom at 9:12, and we started walking to class. Mind you, we just walking in this hallway not knowing what's going on at all. Like, at all. So we get to the classroom, didn't see anybody. We checked the other classrooms, didn't see anybody. I'm never taking anything serious. I'm like, dang, what? They went on a field trip without us? And Kenzie giggled. Cause like, for real, like, who's finna think that in real life? Like, in real life. We in the Midwest, St. Louis I'm talking about. As I look back in the classroom, I end up seeing the homeboy, his do-rag, because it was like lime green, right? So that's letting me know that they're in the classroom. So I start banging on the window like this, right? And then I start hearing this loud banging. So I'm thinking, like I said, they started hard sweeping this day. So I'm thinking that security pulling on the door like extra hard, you know. I don't know. I don't know what I really thought. Like, it don't make sense now, but at the time, I was just making it make sense for myself. Then I start lightly tapping on the window. And the students say they tried to open the door for me and the teacher didn't let them. But I don't know, because I wasn't in there. At that point, the banging was getting louder and closer. So, like, I ran to the steps and I went live. I'm not gonna lie. So as I'm hearing the banging and I start my live, I titled the live, I'm locked out of class, right? And I'm not on the same floor that I was on. I'm on the steps in between the levels, right? So I'm like right here. If you catching my drip, it's a little level right there. That's where I was. Somebody from a different school on the live, he was joking. He was like, oh, they finna call your mama, you finna get in trouble. And I was like, oh, you right, because mind you, like I said, I was always in trouble for being late. But then I start hearing more banging, and it's getting louder and closer. Like, I got Kenzie with me. She on my hip the whole time. I'm not leaving my girl, trust. So at this point, we run down the whole flight of steps to where we at the first floor, and we run across to the second building, right? So downstairs in the second building is where the dance floor was. I was finna run downstairs to the dance floor, but then we heard everybody, like, basically, I don't know who it was. It could have been the police, I don't know, but I heard everybody get the fuck down. And as soon as I heard that, I turned back around like real fast and I ran the other way. So I'm still in the second building, but I'm not downstairs. I'm on the main level. At this point, I call my mama because, like, I'm like really confused, not knowing what's going on. I'm just like in survival mode, because for real. So I FaceTime my mom while I found me a little hiding spot, right? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm locked out of class. I keep hearing loud banging, and I was finna run downstairs, but I heard cursing and people saying, get down, get down. So she was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? And at that point, this boy had limped over to me. This is a different victim. He limped over to me and he was like, I'm shot. And I was like, I flipped the camera and I'm like, Mama, he's shot. And she said, oh, y'all need to get the fuck out of there. We're going to address why I went live. I said I went live when I started to hear the banging at first, because I was always in trouble. Either way it go, it was for my safety, because if something would have happened to me, people would have been able to see it because I was locked out of class. Nobody knew where I was. There was no attendance for me. She locked me out of class. And at the end of the day, everything I did is the reason why I'm here today. So, 3, I don't think anybody that wasn't there should have an opinion or anything negative or anything to say at all, really, to or about anybody that was there and who's on this app telling their story right now. People talk so much, but at the end of the day, we were at school. It was 9 in the morning, 9 a.m. on the dot, 9:03 to be exact. Half of y'all don't even wake up and brush your teeth. Y'all went to school and went to sleep. Y'all wouldn't have known what to do in that situation. Y'all could talk and say, oh, y'all would have did this or that, or y'all won't. But at the end of the day, no, y'all wouldn't have. Finally, let's get into the bogus part. The teacher who locked me out of class knew what she was doing.
See one of the homegirls, and the other homegirl on some shit, knocking on the motherfucking door, hard as a motherfucker. Like, what's up? What y'all on? She looking lost. I'm like, man, I'm trying to let you in, but the teacher won't let you in the classroom. And it ain't me though. But I'm just looking like, I'm pointing at the door. Homegirl outside the door, she know I'm pointing at the door, but she don't know what the fuck I'm pointing at. The teacher like, Armand, that's the intruder right there. All they dumb ass balled up in the damn corner, so they can't see the shit. They believe in the teacher. She ain't in the corner with their ass. So she don't even know what the fuck she talking about. So next thing you know, she, Armand, get in the corner. That's the truth. I said, that's Coco and Kenzie, man. I'm finna let their ass in the door. If you let them in the door, you'll be endangering the entire class right now. You need to get in the corner. Coco gang, she outside the class. She like, I don't know why the fuck they won't let us in, so I'm gonna just walk off. So she walks the fuck off.
She looked at me, locked the door, and said, go get a pass. I was already at the door. She could have let me in, but I'm glad she didn't. It's cool. Now let's get into Monday, October 24th, 2022. So as I was hiding in the hall area, it was like stuff in the hall that I was like hiding in between, so I couldn't be seen really. But when the classmate limped over to me and told me that he was shot, and I flipped the camera and showed my mama, she said, y'all need to get the fuck out of there, right? That was all I needed to hear. So I put classmate who shot arm around me, and basically we leave. Like, we go from the second building back to the first building, because now we on the first floor, and we went through the cafeteria. Well, Kenzie went toward the police officers because they was yelling at people. They were like down the hall this way yelling at people. They was like yelling at us to come down there or whatever. I wasn't going. Classmate who was shot limped down to his dad's office because the shooter had a list and his daddy was on that list. And me, I ran. I just kept running. I ran through the cafeteria. The police was like, hey, little girl. I kept running. My purse opened. I dropped my charger. I had a fast charger too, y'all. I was hurt. As I'm running, I get out the building, and this is when I see Brian. His name is something Cap on here. He on here telling his story too. He was shot in the neck and in the hand. I saw that. I don't remember what I said to him, because like I was probably like, oh my fucking God, like damn, you shot too? Like, but I just kept running. Because at that point, help was there, but they couldn't help me. Like, I was just frantic at the moment. I just kept running. I literally ran all the way down the street to Snooks. I was the first student at this Snooks. So once I get to the Snooks after being a runner and a track star, I'm completely out of breath. Like, I couldn't breathe at all. Like, I didn't have no inhaler. They had to give me the freaking bag, and I was breathing through the bag thing like they do on the movies and stuff. So I called my grade AT because she was she worked with the police department. I don't remember what it is that she do, but I remember seeing her in them cop outfits, right? And she's the only cop I would trust. So I called her and I was like, TT, my school just got shot up. Like, she was like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And she could tell I couldn't breathe and stuff. And she was like, where you at? And I told her where I was. And at that point, my mama was there already, because once I called her and she told us to leave, she was on the way. Like, she left my little brother in the house and everything. She didn't purposely leave him. He was asleep, and she was trying to come save me. So, hey. So, at this time, everybody really, they thought I was dead because, like I said, she locked me out. Nobody knew where I was. Nobody had contact to me. Last thing they heard was me on the live, and they heard the shooting. The people that was on the live heard the shooting. So everybody thought I was dead. And then once I like finally caught my breath and my mama told me she was there, I walk outside and my whole school is out there. Like, everybody was outside on the Snook slide. And I'm running into my classmates. They like, oh, the teacher died. She got shot in the neck and she went into cardiac arrest. Like, and then they was telling me about all the students that got shot. And I'm running into my classmates. They like, oh, the teacher died. She got shot in the neck and she went into cardiac arrest. Like, and then they was telling me about all the students that got shot. And then, like, so much happened within, like, 8 to 12 minutes. A lot went down. So I went straight home. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't play with the police. I don't trust them. Especially when it comes to school stuff. Like Kendrick Johnson. After that, nah. I went home, and like my whole ride home, I'm still like not processing what just happened really, right? And as I got home, I took a nap. I'm not gonna lie. I went to sleep and I woke back up. And when I woke back up is when I found out that homegirl that I was just talking to in the hallway passed away. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe anything in that moment. I was really in disbelief. And then I went and checked her location, and it was still in the school hallway. And that put the icing on the cake for me. And this happened 10 days after homecoming and 18 days before homegirl's 16th birthday. And I'm not gonna lie, when it first happened, as I was trying to process it, I was beating myself up a lot because I honestly felt like I could have saved homegirl. Like, if I would, like, because we was already in the hallway talking, damn near late anyway. If we would have sat there talking probably for a few more minutes, or I would have actually took the picture as the voice in my head was screaming, maybe, you know, like, maybe it wouldn't have happened like that. I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody other than my therapist, because that's genuinely something that used to bother me. Like, if I would have took that picture, she wouldn't have been where she was at the time that she got shot. You hear me? Like, you feel me? But I have to realize, like, I can't save everybody, and everything does happen for a reason. But yeah, that's my part 2. I think I should respect everybody that's on here telling their stories, because at the end of the day, we are survivors.
Story time on how I was in a school shooting that led to my best friend's death. Okay, so at the time of the shooting, I was 15 years old. I was a sophomore. So this was like 3 years ago. It happened in 2022. Y'all might have heard of it. It was like on the news. It was like kind of a worldwide thing for a little minute, and then like it became just a local thing, like a St. Louis thing. So I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I went to Central Visual Performing Arts High School. So I'm just gonna break down my experience from that day, and yeah. So I went to my first period class, which was health, and that was actually one of the people that passed. My teacher, my health teacher, Jean Kushka, she passed away that day, but I had her that morning, but I wasn't in the class when she passed. So I went to her class that day. Nothing more than usual. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of being rude to her that day, but she was kind of like frustrating me. So I wouldn't say rude, but we just wasn't on a nice, peaceful term like we usually are. I low-key felt bad because she passed away later, and you know, respect to her family and her, but that kind of eating me up. But I ended up going to my second period class. After my health class, I went to my second period class, which was dance. When we got down there, it's like it was a beginner class coming out of their first period, and they be moving slow because, you know, you got to change out of your leotards and stuff like that. So I'm waiting for a space to clear, and it's making me be late for class because I have nowhere to change at because that class was so packed. The locker room was so packed. So me and my classmates, including my best friend, Alexandria Bell, we all ended up being late because we couldn't change. So by the time we ended up changing, we were going late to class, and I had to use my phone in health class because we were doing a research project. So my phone was dying by the time I got to second period. It was like on 30%. So as we were leaving to go to dance class, like out of the locker room, I was like, oh shoot, let me go get my charger. So I ran back into the locker room to go and grab my charger. As I grabbed my charger, I turned back around. I think I sent a text before I walked back out the locker room. I was in a leotard and like shorts and like tights, but I didn't have any shoes on. So as I turned to go back out of the locker room, I hear a loud boom, like there's boom. And you know, like, I don't know, you know, when you black, you just be like, what was that? So I'm like, what? I paused. I'm like, what was that? And one of my dance teachers, she comes out of the dance office. It kind of like faces the locker room, and she looks at me, and we both looking like, what the hell was that? So we both stand there and pause, and we looking, and then out of nowhere, I just heard, I'm like, and she like motions to tell me to run, and I turn back around, and I slam the door to the locker room, and after that, I'm just hearing gunshots and screams. Like, I'm trying to be in good spirits about it right now, but it was like the most terrifying noise of my life. Like, I don't know who was screaming, particularly in my class, like out of my classmates. I just know they were like gut wrenching. Like, somebody sounded in pain. It was that bad. So I'm in the locker room and I'm pacing. I'm on my phone. I'm breathing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's all I could remember saying, like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I end up going to the very far back of the locker room and balling myself up in a ball and rocking. And then I just started praying to God. I started calling on God and I was praying because I couldn't call my mom. I didn't have any cell service down there because it was like the locker room just doesn't have any cell service. I was trying to call my mom. I tried to text my mom. I tried to call the police. I couldn't do none of that. So I felt really helpless. And I was the only person in there because all my other classmates were in the classroom. So I was just sitting there rocking, like just praying. That's all I could do. Try not to make this too long. I'll give y'all part 2 if y'all want it. But as I'm in the locker room, no more noise, by the way. Like, it's quiet. I don't hear any screaming. I don't hear any gunshots. I don't hear anything. So I'm just sitting there, and as I'm back there hiding, the locker room door opens real slow, and somebody walks in, and you can tell they're searching, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I'm finna die right now. And I had to prepare myself to die because I was convinced that I was finna die. So I was in the locker room and I was rocking. And as I'm hearing the footsteps start to inch closer towards me. And I'm just sitting here like, this is it. I'm finna die. So when the person comes around and I see who it is, it's one of my classmates. I don't know how she avoided any crossfire. I'm not going to say her name. I'm pretty sure she was doing morning announcements that day. So she came to class late and she had no idea what was going on. Soon as she saw me, she was like, oh my God, Alyssa, I did not know you were back here. What's going on? And I'm just telling her, oh my God, somebody is shooting. It's just bad. So she was just in disbelief, and she also was trying to contact people, and we didn't have any cell service, like I said previously. So she was suggesting we hide in like this bin, this like laundry bin, but the bin had like a bunch of plastic in it. And I'm like, no, that's too loud. I don't want to make any noise. So we end up going to my spot that I was in when I was rocking, and we just sat back there. And then at this point, the fire alarm starts to go off. It's just really loud. We're so confused. One of my dance teachers that ushered me to go back to the locker room, she comes into the locker room, and we're like, what's going on? What's going on? She like, I think it's a drill. I'm gonna apologize to my mom before, because I don't even think I told her this part of the story. But when she came in there and said, it's a drill, I'm just like, what the? It's not a drill. Like, I was already overwhelmed, y'all. And then I just feel like she said something absurd. Because in what school in America do they shoot actual gunshots for an intruder drill? So after that, she walks back out of the locker room. So me and my classmate, we go back to the little hiding spot. And after that, a couple minutes later, the fire alarm stops going off. And then I'm hearing someone talking to my teacher. They're like, dude, somebody in there got a gun. She just sounds so afraid. She's like, oh my gosh, no. And they like open the door. She's like, no. Like, she just sounded so afraid. So based off of her responses and her reaction, I'm thinking the shooter came back and he, but all of a sudden the locker room door opens and I hear, police, come out, put your hands in the air. Now, obviously this isn't the first school shooting, unfortunately. And I've heard of, people using that tactic and saying they were police to get the little kids to come out and basically slaughter them. So in that moment, I'm like, I don't think that's police. I'm not getting up. They'll come get me, My classmate, she was getting up and she was gonna go, and I literally begged her, like I was shaking. It's like, please don't go, please. Because if I see you like die in front of me, I'm going to like lose my mind. She sits back down. The police end up coming into the locker room, and they're like, put your hands up, and then they was like, come on. So as they're escorting us out of the locker room and basically out of the building, I can recall being so scared. Like, everybody was holding me, And I was just shaking, like everything was just shaking. And at this point, I'm getting ready to cry because the whole time I haven't cried yet. As we were walking out, I was kicking shells, like bullet shells, and it was starting to register with me like, this seriously just happened. Like, it really happened. When we started to get to the exit door, I saw a trail of blood, and I started to hyperventilate and cry because I'm realizing somebody's hurt or killed, and I couldn't believe it. So they end up placing us in the back of a police car, and we just sitting there, and I'm just so confused and scared. And at that time, I took the opportunity to text my mom and call my mom. She wasn't picking up because she was asleep. My mama works like long overnight shifts that sometimes carry into day shifts, so she be asleep sometimes during the day. But I still tried to contact her. Then one of the officers told us, you guys have to get out of the car. They're shooting in the streets. You got to get out the car. We tried to get out the police car. Mind you, we're in the back seat, so the doors are locked. I started panicking again because I can't get out the car. And I was already crying, and she wanted us to get out because they were shooting. So I was just like, oh, my God. We end up having to stand at a park, like, that's literally across the street from the school, Tower Grove Park. We was literally standing right there because they didn't want anybody, like, right there. They started blocking off the streets. So I got to talking to my dance teacher about everybody else. I'm like, where's everyone else at? You know, because none of my class was, like, in the room or around at all. So I'm like, where's everybody else? Where's my other dance teacher? Like, what's going on? She told me everybody made it out safe. That's what she told me. And when I was trying to text them, I assumed that some of them had left their phones inside of the school because, you know, that was a crazy moment. I literally walked out with my charger and my phone in my hand. The whole time I was panicking and hyperventilating and praying to God, my charger and my phone was in my hand because that's all I was holding on to. So after I was trying to contact everybody and I wasn't able to talk to nobody, and also I was trying to salvage the little battery percentage I had left, I realized I still haven't talked to my mom. She still don't know what's going on. I called her so many times. She still wasn't answering. She was like dead sleep. And I was just standing outside. At this time, my other family members was blowing my phone up. Blowing it up, calling me, texting me, trying to see if I'm okay, trying to get to me and come get me. Eventually, my mama ends up calling me and she asked me what's going on. And I was just like, somebody just shot into the school. There was a shooting. And I just remember her, you could just hear the disbelief. She just literally said, what? And literally after that, I could just hear her rushing to come get me, rushing to me. She just was rushing. She was trying to stay on the phone, but as I said, my phone was dying. So I know it was scary for her, but I had to tell her, hey, I'm going to have to hang up. We're going to have to meet at the Chinooks down the street from the school because that's where everybody is meeting at, and that's where they're telling us to meet. The phone fell, sorry. But it was a bunch of neighborhood houses on that street as well, and all the people that stayed in those houses were standing outside watching, and they ended up telling me I can use their alley to get to the store. My teacher was still with me the whole time. She even told my mom when I was on the phone with my mom that she's not going to leave me because my other classmate that was in the locker room, she ended up leaving with her family. So my teacher was just trying to make sure I left with mine. So we took the alley up to the Chinooks, and as I got there, I'm seeing so many of my friends covered in blood, clothes ripped, crying, hugging, and I'm seeing the news, people getting ready to set up an interview, one of my friends actually. This is when I got reunited with my mom. I see my mom, and she just was running towards me. She looked a mess. Oh my gosh, she looked a mess. I know this is so irrelevant, how she looked, because obviously she didn't cry. She was coming to get her daughter, oh my God. But I'll never forget that. But I remember hugging my mom, and she just gave me this real long hug. And then we started to leave to go to the car. On the way to the car, we run into my best friend's mom, and she, states that she's looking for her daughter. And I tell her what my teacher told me, which was everybody made it out safe. At the time, they were transporting students to another high school in the area. So I was like, maybe she's at the other school or down the street somewhere. But I had not seen her, and I could not contact her. So that's just what I ended up telling her. End up going home and breaking down the story to my mom. And I just remember her like crying. Like, she didn't cry until we got home. Like, I don't know, she just was like she had to keep it together. So after that, I went in my room to like regroup about the situation and think. And I received a text from somebody who was a mutual friend of me and my best friend. He didn't go to our school, but he ended up asking me, are y'all okay? Where is my best friend at? Because he can't, like, she's not texting back nothing. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, I haven't been able to talk to her. I tried calling her. I tried all of that. I don't have no response. Like, I want to say 10 minutes later, I got the most heartbreaking text of my life. Like, I just remember him saying, she's gone. Like, I took my phone and I ran into my mama's room and I told her the text I received and what they were saying in our sophomore group chat as well. And she was like, no, don't believe that. Don't believe that. Wait till the news confirm it. Wait till somebody confirm it. Don't believe that. We can't believe that. My mind was already made up. I believed it. I was crying. It was already. I sit down in my room crying and I hop on Instagram and it starts to get confirmed by news sources and everybody. I came back into my mama's room and I really started letting it go. And she dropped to her knees and she was just saying, no, no. And she started crying and we just like cried together. At this time, my little sister was still in school because they put all the other schools on lockdown and she was in middle school at the time. So I just cried all day, like for so many hours. My other family members came over and they was talking to me, asking me what happened and hugging me and stuff. At that point, I wasn't crying anymore, but I was still thinking about it. It was a long grieving process for me. I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing gunshot noises. I couldn't sleep by myself. I didn't go to sleep till 4 in the morning. I let my little sister sleep in my bed. I hate sleeping with her. That's how I know it was really bad. I didn't really leave the house. I didn't go to work. I didn't want to go back to school, but I want to say like a couple days later or maybe a week later, they had a balloon release for everyone that passed. And it was at the school, right there by the doors where the police escorted me out. And I remember walking up for the balloon release and feeling this tightness in my chest and not being able to breathe. And my heart was racing. And I remember I started crying. I was gasping for air. I couldn't breathe. Pretty sure I had a panic attack. My mama had to like calm me down and tell me to breathe. So I remember literally like crying and going, like I could not breathe. She also consoled a bunch of my other friends at the balloon release because everyone was just bawling their eyes out. It was insane and it was very hard. It was, I didn't get to make it to my teacher that passed funeral, but I did attend my best friend's funeral, which was the first funeral I've ever went to in my entire life. I barely wanted to go. My mom told me, you need to go for closure, and I agreed, but I never been to a funeral. My mom didn't let me as a child because she was like, that's traumatizing. And after attending my best friend's funeral and seeing her like that and having nightmares and only remembering her looking like that after that, I understand why. I didn't cry much at the funeral, but I did like stay silent. I didn't really want to talk. The school ended up reopening and they let us come back and they had on-site therapists, therapy dogs, a bunch of stuff for us, and it was like new schedules and lots of security measures. And I used every resource they gave us. I was in that therapy room every day. Miss Tiffany, I miss you and I love you. She was talking to me every single day. And it was just, she was the best up there. I did contemplate not coming back to the school. I didn't want to come back. But it makes sense to stay at that school and with a community and a family that is going through the same thing. Like transferring to another school where nobody had that happen to them and they don't understand how you're feeling would kind of be insane. And who's to say it won't happen to that school? You know, it's for sure not going to happen at our school again. So that was kind of my reasoning for going back. And I also wasn't going to leave my friends because they were grieving as well. I would say it took me like a while to recover because like slamming of doors, I would jump because it would give me like flashbacks, loud booms, like even other gunshots. I could feel how I felt that day. Obviously, this is a hard thing to talk about. Seeing how long it took me to talk about this is very much a hard thing. But I did exactly what I intended to do. Open the door for everybody else to talk about it. And my other friends are also on this app talking about it. And I'm going to tag them in the comments below. I'm actually going to put their ads in the caption. But let me say this. Y'all will not discourage them and put any hate comments or tell them anything about their experience like you guys did me. I'm strong, so I'm not really fazed by the negative things people are saying, worrying about a relationship that I had with someone and trying to tell me what relationship I had with someone. But my friends, I'm stepping behind them. So please keep it respectful and keep it cute.
Amen. Amen. We're going to go back to Capo's video. That was crazy. This happened on October 24th of 2022. Orlando Harris is the shooter. He parked his blue 2012 Dodge Avenger near the building before entering the school. Walking up to the third floor, he was armed with an AR-15 with more than 600 rounds and about a dozen 30-round magazines. This happened at 9:02 a.m. He parked on Arsenal Street. Imagine that. He walked to the school's annex building wearing all black, made entry into the school by crashing the glass and pushing back the crash bar. He entered the school at 9:08. As he entered the school, an unarmed school security guard noticed him and ran away to warn people. He turned and walked towards the school's dance class just outside the dance studio. He encountered a female student. Harris fired a shot only to miss the student. He continued into the dance class and he threatened students inside and opened fire. And that's where he shot 15-year-old Alexandria Bell. He then tried to shoot other students and the teacher, but the rifle malfunctioned. Other occupants inside the dance class escaped. Harris walked away from the dance studio. He went upstairs into the breezeway. He entered the school's main building onto the first floor, walked into the stairway, entered the school's second floor. Harris walked down the hallway and encountered staff members standing in the hallway. The staff members were having a meeting until they were interrupted by the security guard alerting everyone about the active shooter. Harris tried shooting at them only to miss. The staff members ran back to their offices and locked the doors. The entire school was placed on lockdown. He walked into class 215 and fired a shot through the window, hitting no one. He turned towards the central hallway and walked down West Hallway. He encountered another security guard. He called her a bitch before chasing her to the female bathroom. He aimed his rifle at the restroom door only for the rifle to malfunction again. He walked down another hallway and walked down another hallway, back to another hallway and upstairs to the third floor. He walked down the third floor, encountered a student. The student ran away from Harris. Harris chased him. They both reached the stairwell. The students ran down the stairwell. Harris tried to run down the stairwell only to fall in the process. And I just seen that video. This is when Capo got shot. He got back up, walked to the hallway. He took off his tactical vest, walked towards the classroom, shot open a lock before entering. He shot at the students and fatally shot the teacher. As she shielded her students, Harris proceeded to fire more rounds inside the classroom, injuring 4 students. While shooting in the classroom, his rifle repeatedly malfunctioned, causing some students to escape by jumping out of the windows. Harris eventually left the classroom and walked towards the computer lab. Harris waited for police. He made an obscene gesture at the security camera. Harris eventually entered the computer lab and hid behind a wall in the room where he would stay for the duration of the shooting. Throughout the shooting, Harris' rifle malfunctioned several times and he repeatedly tried clearing the jams. He reloaded at least 3 times during the course of the shooting. So that last class where Capo was shot was actually the one where everybody ran out of the room. So that was really, really sad story. I don't know, like, this was a picture of Harris walking through the hallway. Crazy situation. And he was 19. He had went to the school the year prior to, so he wasn't actually a student at the time. He was a previous student. So, but he was having some mental health issues, and you know, unarmed security. Now they want to take cell phones from kids. Yes, it's a lot going on these days. A lot going on.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.